Hey, welcome back. So I'm going to start with training today because I'm not diving today, I'm diving tomorrow. And on the days that I'm not diving, I'm usually training. And the advice I'm going to give you today is don't go too hard too often. I've talked about that before, and that is your breath hold in spearfishing. It is your endurance training and your strength work. You want to stay at sub-maximal capacity most of the time to stay fresher for longer and build your progress over time. Maxing yourself out in anything all the time is only going to hinder your progress and make you hate it. So hopefully that helps. Short sets, high intensity, many times. View it as a practice, not as a workout, no matter what it is. Oh, just caught you checking out my shorts. So I just got these in from Mamjik, and they are my new favorite shorts. If you're looking for a pair that are super versatile from the beach to the gym and anywhere in between, they're really stretchy, comfortable, they have support, they're very lightweight and dry really well. They have zipper pockets front and back, and they look cool. You can go to mamjik.com, put in coupon code NOPRESSURE, and you'll not only get 10% off, you'll also help the channel grow. All right. Okay, so now before I go diving tomorrow, I'm gonna go up and meet up with Alex. He's got some scuba gear for me. I've never been scuba diving before, and today I'm gonna go give it a shot for the first time. So we're just gonna go have a kind of a mellow, fun afternoon today, rest up, and then we'll get into spearfishing tomorrow. All right, see you guys out there. Phew. All right. Scuba diving, day one. So even though it is a little hectic out here, this is about the calmest spot in the whole island, and while we're used to really rough exits and entrances, spearfishing, dealing with all the weight of the tank and the gear is something very new to me, but either way, we're in. We're just going to go cruise around a little bit. These are some of my best friends. There's Kanoa, the mad scientist, there's Alex, and our friend Sam. So we're just going to go cruise anywhere from about 30 to 70 feet today and just get an idea what it's like to breathe underwater. And here we came across a super cool Triton, or Hawaiian conch shell. This one is living, so we're going to leave it alone, just feed it an uni. But traditionally, the end is cut off the empty ones, and they're made into a sacred poo. But not this guy. We hope he lives a long time. Now, as someone who has only ever been a freediver, it's quite a trip to breathe underwater, but it does give me a lot of opportunities to check out the reef that I normally don't. And instead of focusing on spearfishing, I get to look at cool things like this awesome cushioned star and really spend some time exploring a little bit different way. Look how cool this one is with all of its blue. I'm not hunting fish right now, so I get to really put my head down and focus on the reef, and we're having a blast out here. It's super cool, it's really fun, and what is Kanoa doing upside down? He is hilarious. But since we weren't out there for super long and it was kind of murky and rough and it was my first time, we didn't see a lot. So we decided to come in and go switch up our adventure and take full advantage of today, and we went out to this really rad spot.
This is a little sketch.
That is pretty steep.
A little sketch. Oh boy.
And it's a little slippery.
There it goes.
Oh boy. Controlled slide, grab that grass, dog. And there he goes.
That's how.
That's one way to do it.
Okay.
An average amount of sketch.
This is awesome. It's holding.
It's holding.
For now.
Oh no, your feet are dirty.
Oh no.
That's a root. Oh yeah.
Where's the stairs?
I really need to get one of those mouthpiece attachments. I can just hold it in my teeth. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hold this in my mouth. Baby. Woo! Oh yeah. There's a long ways down there.
Crackers and beers up here.
Oh, I'm coming. Oh baby, we're in. Roll. Roll, baby, roll. Yes. Cheers. Yeah, sometimes it's really great to just take a step back and appreciate how blessed we really are out here. We get to do this all the time. Every weekend is a different adventure. We got an ocean view down there. It's about 120, 130 feet down to that gulch. And I just get to hang out with some of the coolest people in the world. This is straight up Avatar land. Seriously. That's like well over 100 feet down there.
Sleep up here tonight.
Yes. Throw a tarp up here, keep the rain off, but the bugs won't bother you up here.
I like the safety net on the side. That's such a good move.
So safe.
Back support.
We are in no rush. We have nowhere to be. We're just hanging out, talking story about life, and relaxing before I get out diving tomorrow. And now it is tomorrow, and it has been absolutely downpouring out here. So I think the water's all really washed out. I don't even know if it's going to be diveable, but it is starting to clear up out here. I'm just really exhausted from the last couple days. Yesterday was a lot of fun, but it really took a lot out of me. So I am drinking coffee today, which will affect my breath hold a little bit, but it's the motivation I need to get started. And historically, there are not a lot of fish out right after a full moon, which is what we just had, because all the fish are fed and hiding and happy. So I don't know if they're going to come out today. I have no idea. I have very low expectations if I can even get in, but I'll go float around maybe and just see what rolls through. All right, well, it is not looking super promising out here today, but I already did the hard part. I got up, I got everything ready, my gear all set, I got my mentality, I'm hydrated, so that's the hard part besides getting the wetsuit on and getting into the water. But I've honestly had some of my best days on days I really didn't feel like going out, and I kind of took my time. But with that said, I still don't feel like I'm forcing anything. You don't ever need to be a hero out there, so never rush it if it doesn't feel right. Wait for the right day and choose your battles wisely. Okay, I'm here. I just went down and checked out the water, and it is far from ideal, but it's calm enough for me to get in. It's cold, it's rainy, it's a little rough, it's a little bit murky and blown out, but my body feels good, my gut feels good. If I had any sign in my guts that said don't get in, I would go home right now. But I feel like having an adventure today. I feel confident with it. I'm just gonna cruise out there and just go float around, see you out there. And no, I did not get in here. This was my first choice, but I ended up getting in somewhere else. And now that I am in, I'm going to pop my fins on. I realize it is every bit as murky and silty as I hoped it wouldn't be, but that's okay. I can deal with it. Here's my first drop of the day. I'm not diving super deep today as I'm by myself, and I'm going to stick between about 35 and 55 feet today, and right away, I'm surprised at how fishy it is. I think the fish were not expecting any divers out because it's so rough, so they all came out to play, and they did not expect me here at all. I was going to get an idea what's going on today. There's a really nice Munu there, and if I see nothing else, I'll take him. I spooked him a little bit right there. I'm just going to wait for the right shot here and see if he gives it to me. Be very patient. I'm in no hurry. And he does. He gives me the right shot. I take my opportunity, and while he is the smallest Munu I would probably take, he's still definitely big enough to take home, and I'm super stoked. Munu is one of my favorite fish. Not bad for my first drop of the day. What's up? And they are as delicious as they are beautiful. Now, this is my very next drop, my second drop of the day, and I have to say, even being tired and with it being rough and murky and having coffee, I'm feeling extremely relaxed. I don't know what the deal is. I'm just feeling super comfortable out here today, so far anyway, and I'm just going to relax in the bottom like I'm taking a nap. All my muscles are turned off, and I'm just going to get an idea of what's rolling through out here. There are a lot of hoggies out there. There's a lot of life moving around. It's pretty promising, but I can't see very far. So I'm going to throw some grunts out a little bit and take gentle looks around and see if anything comes in behind me. And I have plenty of time. I'm feeling really comfortable down here, and these really tank omilus come in here, and I can tell they're going to give me the right shot. The second one's a little bit bigger, but I'm going to take whatever I can get here. And that one gives me the right shot right through the spine. Second drop of the day, got a fatty Munu. Couldn't be much more stoked on that. Yessa. It's probably one of the more versatile eating fish that's on the reef. Just so much you can do with them, and they're beautiful and fun to catch. Now, I decided to punch it out a little bit farther and a little bit deeper, so I'm heading down here into about the mid-50s or so, and I'm going to try to find the right spot to land in. I can't see the reef from the surface, so I really can't pick my landing zone until I get down here, but I ended up finding a really good spot to lay in where I'm pretty comfortable and pretty well hidden, and right away I notice this huge school of absolutely enormous moo. And I can't believe they're coming in this close this soon, and I'm thinking about taking a lunge on them. And now I have to decide, which game do I play? They're coming in kind of close. I can take a lunge and long shots on fish like this, and a lot of times it works out, but I don't want to mess up my only opportunities. So I may end up waiting them out, get them comfortable with me, head back up as gently as I can, and come back down for a better shot next time. But I'm going to give it everything I have this time and see if I can get them to come in. I pull out my magic shiny spoon and see if that works. But it doesn't seem to, and I'm by myself, so I can't push my breath hold. So I decide I'm going to gently leave the reef as smoothly as I can, figure out where they are, look away from them, and get them comfortable with me and try it again. So this is a prime opportunity now to gut that Omilu and chum up the waters and see if I can keep them there. So now I head back down again, and I find a different spot to hang out in. But this time I'm not in the most ideal spot. I'm kind of cliff hanging off the side of this reef, and I'm on my knees, but I try to keep my head down this time to see if that works. I'm just going to slowly pick my head up so I don't spook anything, look around. And there's a giant school of Nenui over there. There's a huge Munu that's in there. I would love to take him too, but I'm really after these moo. They're still hanging out over there in the background. They're looking in on me. They are curious, but they're also very wary. So I have to be patient here. I have the spoon in my hand, wiggling that around, making a couple grunts and some scratching noises, and I'm trying to stay as calm and relaxed as I can. But they are just not budging, and I fear that I may have missed my one opportunity on that last dive. I'm just going to try to creep forward a little bit and see if I can get a better angle on them, but it's just not going to happen this dive, so I'm going to head back up and get some air. So now I'm going to try to change locations and hit them from a different angle, but it's very difficult to see from the surface, so I end up landing on this little ledge, which is pretty uncomfortable, and it leaves me really exposed. So again, this is not the best spot to hide in or hunt from, so I'm just going to make the best of it. I already have my spoon in my hand as a flasher, and I'm going to use it to dig through these rocks a little bit, because sometimes the aggregation can attract predatory fish because they want to see what I'm looking for, and I have my head down, which makes them feel safer. And I look up, and there are 3 monster Munus right there, some of the biggest I've ever seen, and I do consider shooting them. They're giving me the opportunity, and as I'm thinking about it, I realize I don't want to lose my opportunity on the moo that are back there. But because I don't think the moo are going to come in, I reconsider, and now I'm thinking those Munus are just as good, so why don't I go for those? They're big, and now they're gone. So the moos are gone, the Munus are gone. I didn't make a decision, and now I'm going to come back up with nothing again. So let me rethink my strategy here. So now on this next dive, I'm going to employ my new strategy I thought about from the surface. I threw my flasher down to get their attention, and I'm thinking because they're not coming in on me very close, I might have to use my aguado technique, where I pull myself across the reef when they're close enough, as smoothly as I can. It's more of a stalk than an ambush style of hunting. And I really prefer that style because it's a little bit more active and it's really fun. So I'm going to figure out where the moo are by looking around as calmly as I can. And there they are. There's the fatty right there. They're coming in to check me out, but I know that they're not going to come any closer. I've taken a ton of dives on these guys today. I'm figuring out how they're moving. I put my head down to get them comfortable with me and get relaxed. I wiggle my flasher a little bit with a couple grunts. And as I pick my head up slowly, I'll use the firm handhold on my left side to pull myself across the reef. And I really focus on making as little noise as possible. I don't want to scrape my fins across the reef or bang my gun off of any coral because that will spook the fish. And I don't want to fin because then they'll know that I'm chasing them down. When they're looking out of one eye, they don't have very good depth perception. So I'm going to fin as gently as possible, take a long shot here, and I thought for sure I had him. But he twitched at exactly the right time, dodged the shaft, and he gets away with his life. You are lucky, buddy. but you made me sad. And since that was probably my only opportunity to close in on those moo, and they're probably spooked now that I took a shot, I'm going to change locations entirely and try a different strategy because I need to get some food. I've been playing the game for a little while, but it is honestly super spooky out here today. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. I'm all by myself. It's really rough out. It's murky. It's rainy, and I just need to get some food. My goal today is to get 5 fish and call it a day. And at this point, I'm caring way less about what they are since I already have 2 really nice fish. And I'm just going to take a look around at what my options are. And there seem to be some good ones. There's some nice opalocalas back here, but there's a lot of life in this little corridor. There's some fat menpachis, and there's some really big ta'apes, which are invasive snappers. So they taste really good. They're great eating. They're invasive, so it always feels good to take them off the reef. And this is a fatty. I'm going to wait for him to give me the right shot, if he will. And so I don't shoot the rocks, and he does. Hit him a little bit low in the belly, but plenty good holding shot. He doesn't get holed up too bad. This Honu scares me a little bit on the way back up. He was just coming in to check me out, but he's cool. Coming up with a ta'ape, yeah. And ta'ape really don't get that big at all, so I was pretty stoked on this guy. And I've been dealing with different intensities of this kind of weather all day today. But back down here on the reef, everything's really chill, except for a little bit of surge. There's a really fat waha nui that comes in. I consider him for a second, but then I remember I don't eat waha nui. I don't really like it all that much. So there's a really fat munu there that I would love to take. So I give him a little squid hand there, a couple grunts. He's wary, but he's a little bit curious too. He comes back for another look. I'm going to gently move my gun over and see if I can head him off and time this right. I don't want to mess the shot up, so I'm going to be very patient here, wait for the right opportunity. And while I don't love shooting into rocks, I will for a munu this size, and he just gives me a nice, easy shot. Or so I thought, but that's what I get for being too cocky. Oh well, moving on. So I'm changing locations again, and I'm ready to start heading back. I need to get a couple more fish here, and I'm getting a little spooked. There's a really fat toa over there, which is also an invasive snapper. I would love to take him if he comes in, but I have some options out here. And there's a school of enormous broomfish over there, which I've shot before, and they're really good eating. They're kind of like mahi, but they're really easy to shoot, and I'm not really after those today. But it is a good opportunity, and they are some of the biggest ones I've ever seen, and there's a lot of them. And then rolling with them is this gray hoggy type of triggerfish. I know people eat them in other parts of the world, and they love them. I've just never eaten hoggy before, but because I'm not super selective about what I want to eat today, I want to give this one a go. I think it'd make a really fun, interesting catch and cook, and I'd love to try it. So I shoot him right through the eyes. He takes off, but it's too late, buddy. I got him. He's coming up with me. Really interesting fish. I've never shot it before. We'll see how this goes. And I have been warned to watch out for their teeth. They will bite you, and they can bite through a wetsuit, so watch their mouths. Now, I've been out here for so long that I didn't realize how far out I was, and I'm looking around, and it's getting deeper, it's getting darker, it's a little bit rougher than it was when I first got in, and I'm just feeling super spooked. I keep looking over my shoulder behind me, whether I'm underwater or on the surface, and I just feel like something's watching me, and I don't know what it is, so I'm starting to head back a little bit. I'm kind of getting over it. I would love to get one more fish, but my whole relaxation I had early in the day is long gone. And I'm looking around, and I'm not really seeing a whole lot of fish in this location either, which is also really discouraging. So I'm not going to hang around here for super long when I'm feeling spooked. I'm going to start heading back and see if I have some different options, but I would love to get one more fish for the day. But this spot just doesn't seem to be it, even though it is kind of pretty. I'm feeling pretty spooked. I'm out of here. So I throw my flasher, and it falls deep into that hole right there, and I have to go dig it out because I don't want to lose it. And I do dig in there. I do end up getting it out, and I think keeping my head down and scratching for a minute may have attracted a little bit of attention. So I'm just going to be patient and wait here. And while I have been spooked and I am heading back because of it, I've had a really good time out here today. It's been super fun. I am enjoying myself. And my intention was just to come out, explore, float around, and collect some food. So here's that massive school of broomfish again that's coming in. And some of them are the biggest ones I've ever seen. They're really easy to shoot. And while they're not typically a prized fish, they would definitely do in a pinch like today. And since all I'm doing is trying to collect food, I don't want to insult this intention by turning it down. I want to honor that intention by saying, okay, here's some food that's presented for me. Why don't I take it? I just look behind me one more time to make sure that there are no other options. I look for the biggest one. I take a really long shot, and I put the shaft right into the brain. It's such a long shot and such a big fish, it doesn't actually go all the way through, and I want to make sure I don't lose him. So I swim over and secure the fish by hand, and I can tell right away that he is not waking up. He's not coming out of that, but he's coming home with me. I surface just fine, do my hook breath, secure my fish. Look how big this guy is. I'm kind of shocked how big he was. I didn't realize it until I got him in my hands. That's a lot of food on that fish, and it is highly underrated. Just watch out for those teeth. And I always gut my fish in the water before I get out. That way I can feed the reef and I don't have to do it at home. So everybody wins. That's my favorite game. And check out that cooey. Not too bad for a rough random solo mission. Pretty stoked about that. Okay, I did it. That worked out way better than I thought it was going to. I really didn't have any expectations out there today. And I came home with some fish. I came home in one piece. I had a really, really good time out there today. It was a little bit spooky at a couple points. It was pretty murky. It was hard to keep my bearings. It was rainy, it was swelly, but I'm pretty stoked. Got some weird fish, got some good fish, had some heartbreaks, some missed opportunities, but you know, that's just the way it goes. Had a blast out there. Get to feed myself for the next few days, and can't ask for much more than that. Oh boy, I really don't feel like doing this right now. Okay, good enough. Yeah, shot him right through the eyes. Look how cool that guy is. I've never eaten one of these before, so I've heard they're really good. A lot of people are pretty stoked to shoot them. They're pretty skittish, so I'm kind of surprised that he came in today, and I had to try him. So I'm just going to chop this guy up, and we'll go from there. So I think in Australia they call these leatherbacks because the skin is so hard. It's like armor. So mostly what I see people do is they'll actually just cut it like a mahi and they strip the skin off it. I have a really, really sharp knife, so I'm just going to fillet this normally because that's how I know how to do these, but there are many ways to take the fillets off these that I don't really know how to do. I'm just going to do it my way. Good thing this knife is really sharp. That is really tough skin. Yeah, he gets a pass.
Down the hatch.
Pass. There you go. Oh, is that so good? New fish. This cat has eaten more fish than most people in the world, I'm pretty sure. Most varieties. Haven't you? You are spoiled. The meat is actually really soft. I'm surprised because the skin is so hard. That's really nice. I think the texture is going to be really great. I heard these are really fantastic eating, so I'm excited to try it. Oh yeah. Behold the glorious meat tray. Woo! All right, all cleaned up now, and I'm gonna get ready for cooking. And I don't feel like going to the store to get toothpicks. So I'm gonna take some bamboo trimmings from the backyard and use those instead. Should do nicely. Just take the ends, they're smaller. That should be plenty. So we're just pretty much making toothpicks just to skewer. I cut them at a little bit of an angle too so they stay sharp. Also helps to cut on one side of the knuckle. That way, when you skewer through, you got a sharp side and then it'll stop. Okay, so the cooking tonight, we're gonna focus on that hoggy, that gray hoggy. I don't really know the name for those. I know they're a type of triggerfish. And we're gonna see how that goes. And I have a pretty unique recipe. We're gonna combine two of the fish today too. So, you've seen this in the past, but I love omilu skin. So I took the skin off that omilu. I did not scale it. All I did was remove the hard ridge bone that goes over the pin bones. That's just a really thick area, you'll see that, just cut that out. But the rest of this is good to go. Don't need to scale it, nothing. And we're just gonna cut this up into strips. We're gonna cut these up into little chunks. We're gonna wrap them, spike them, dust them, and deep fry them. So we're gonna have some omilu skin wrapped hoggy and deep fried. And we're gonna see how this goes. I just made this up when I was cleaning up. All right, so I just cut those skins up into these strips. Look how pretty and oily that is. It's really oily. It has like that pink blue shine to it in the right light. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm really impressed with it. The first time I've ever tried this fish, so really unique, something new. So I'm gonna take all of these strips, I'm gonna cut them in half this way, and then they should be able to wrap around here nicely with a little bit of an overlap, just like that. And then I can spike them with my bamboo skewers. So I'm gonna start with a little hole first. Is like armor 2. It should go through the other side. There we go. Just like that. Cool. Now we're gonna do 14 more of those. And just coincidentally, I had exactly the right amount of strips for the amount of pieces that I had. Now we have all these guys that are ready. And we're gonna throw these in some mochico flour, or you can use cornstarch and some garlic, salt, and pepper. And we're gonna deep fry them. In the meantime, we're gonna get the fryer heated up. So it'll be hot by the time we're ready. All right, we have that mochico flour, sweet rice flour. We'll throw some garlic salt in there and some cayenne pepper. And we're just gonna dust these guys really well in there. Make sure they're really dry. If they're not dry when they go in, they will splatter. So you can, if you ever want to use your omilu skins for something else, for deep frying, because they make a really good garnish. They're really crunchy and crispy. You can throw them in the dehydrator first so you can bake them a little bit, just don't cook them. And that will help them not splatter when you throw them in the fryer. All right, let's toss these guys in the fryer. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna make a dipping sauce too. Some garlic butter with a little bit of spices. Smash up a bunch of garlic. Put a big old slab of butter in there. One of our favorite things to do. Put a lot of butter in the pan. I'll throw that garlic in here. And I may or may not have put too much butter in. I can almost never say that, but that's a lot of butter. We're gonna add some garlic salt to that as well. Throw some cayenne in here too. Put some ginger. You don't have to be shy with the ginger in this, I don't think. And we're just gonna do that for a minute or two, nothing crazy. Just to stir. Once that garlic starts to brown, we'll shut it off and let it sit. Okay, this has cooled down just a little bit, but we're gonna put it in this dipping bowl anyway. I think these are just about done. It's our last batch. We are ready to eat. It's been a long day. We are starving. Nice and crispy. And I'm really excited to try this. New fish. I don't get to say that very often. Oh yeah. Some gray triggerfish. This is a new one. I see them out there all the time. Had them come in. They rarely come close enough to shoot, and I've never really considered shooting them before, but I hear that people really like them, so I had to give it a shot. I thought it would make a really unique catch and cook, just something different. It's a new one for me, so let's see how it goes. It could be terrible, for all I know. I don't know. So, take the bamboo out. Oh, that sticks together. How about that? A little garlic butter sauce. Why wouldn't you? They smell really good.
They do.
Yes. Like a little bit sweet. And that crunch with the skin on the outside really makes it. It's unique. Really unique.
Soft, but not too soft. Like,
yeah.
it's so good.
Not my favorite fish I've ever shot. Not my least favorite fish I've ever shot. It's pretty good. That was a really hectic day out there today, but really fun. Really glad I went. Come back safe, priority one. Catching some cool fish, some weird ones out there. Got some weird fish today. Yeah. Very atypical, but made it happen. Thanks for sticking around this long if you have. I really appreciate everybody's support. Everyone's been so kind lately. It's really encouraging. I really appreciate it. Everyone who likes, comments, subscribes, you guys are awesome. I will work on getting this edit together tonight so you guys can get it out soon, which is kind of weird because you're watching it right now, but I actually still have to make the edit. So, it's so weird. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Catch you next time.